Sadesky, I have you here to myself.
Dangerous.
What do you remember from our last one-on-one session? Dubois had his, you had yours, then he had his, now you're having another.
Man, it's been a few weeks,
Yes.
so bear with me here. I know we started out at the Johnsons,
Mm-hmm.
looking into the death of their daughter. And the biggest thing that came out of there was that red-headed, green-eyed girl, who I found out to be Peggy Wilson, took the journal where the Johnson's daughter was, or would have wrote her weird ramblings.
And what did the shopkeep tell you?
Smith's in the second place. He told me the name of that redheaded girl. No. That's right. Miss Johnson was kind of a Mr. Smithsonian, right?
Smithson.
He was a lot nicer. We liked him. And from him, we found out that his son was in town investigating the death of Lillian Johnson. They didn't keep any of his stuff. He had a Viking funeral.
Yep.
And in his journal, he wrote about worries, insecurities, and confessions. But that journal is no longer around.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I'm missing, Mr. Game Master?
I do remember Smithson telling you that his son hadn't been in town for a while.
Correct.
Okay.
He was out working the big city.
Mm-hmm. Saginaw. Saginaw my nuts.
I'm leaving that in.
Make that a sticker. No.
Saginaw my nuts.
Make it, you know what we'll make it? We'll make it into a QR code that's a sticker. People scan the QR code, and then it's just that audio.
Nice.
Boom. Easy marketing. Okay. So I think you had left the general store.
Correct.
Mr. Will Scott had come in as you were leaving. The owner of the inn.
That's right, because we were staying at Will Scott's.
Yep. His son, he mentioned having a son. I don't remember what he told you. Do you remember?
Not really.
Okay.
I didn't write down anything about that, so I don't know how too far we got into that one.
Where do you want to go?
Next stop is Richard Townsend.
Richard Townsend. Where do you want to talk? Who are you talking to? Where do you want to talk?
Tate's going to go find Richard Townsend based off of the map that he saw earlier. What was it? His house was marked on it? Or pointed out to him?
No, I don't think so.
Tate will head back into the general store.
Okay.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Yeah?
Think you could point me towards Mr. Richard Townsend?
Oh, well, Richard passed away recently.
Oh, well, that's a shame. How about, was he one of the alleged suicides?
Yeah. It was bad.
You guys know who I could go to talk to about any of this?
Well, I'd probably be the best one to talk to, I guess. This is Dennis speaking. What do you want to know?
Were you close with them at all?
Well, he worked at my inn, actually.
Must be a tough loss. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know him very well.
He didn't work there terribly long, and I didn't know much about him. He kind of just rolled into town one day and needed a job. And I had a job for him. Yeah.
It's not too uncommon in these parts, right?
Well, nowadays it is, actually. Didn't used to be, but nowadays it is. A bit less common.
You ever bring up what brought him here?
No, he didn't bother anybody. He liked to drink quite a bit.
Don't we all?
But he was good. He only ever did, after hours when he got off. No. I don't know. We found him. He was staying in one of the rooms. That was a part of his compensation, and he.
No telltale signs, though? Hanging out late at night more than usual, or new crowd of people he was roaming around with? New friend or girlfriend, even?
Roll a psychology check.
I think his psychology hasn't changed. Tate's psychology is a 30. And he rolled a 52. Failure.
What was your question? Exactly? Verbatim? Word for word?
If he'd been doing anything strange or staying
Hanging
out
out
later,
with people,
hanging out
certain
with people,
friend groups.
Maybe a new girlfriend.
No, not, nope, nothing I know, about.
And has that room been cleaned up already?
Oh, yeah, it has been.
Any chance he had a journal on him?
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, I have a box of his belongings still. I've been holding on to it in case family came, but...
Yeah, you'd be willing to let me peek through that for the investigation? I don't think I'll disturb anything.
No, I don't. I think that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if his name was... yeah, that's fine. I'll show you... Mr. Smithson, am I good here? Yeah. Yep. You're good. All right.
Perfect.
Keep the change. We'll head back.
I'll follow you, sir.
So he grabs his bag off the counter, walks out, over to the Will Scott's back inside. He sets the bag down on the counter and then walks back over to the stairs and then up. He takes a left, walks you to a room, opens the door. It's really clean. Really, really, really clean. But there's this tone, this smell that the strongest cleaner just can't get out. And Clay would recognize it. It's the smell of death. Life has been lost in this room not terribly long ago. But the room otherwise looks very normal, save for a box in the corner that has some bits and bobs in it. Dennis walks over, grabs it, picks it up, sets it down on the bed. Yeah, here's all the stuff.
I appreciate your help in all this, Mr. Wilscott.
Yeah,
And Tate's gonna gently, respectfully, I guess, dig through, mainly looking for a journal or any other identifying factors.
you find clothes, pretty standard set, shoes, hat. Roll an appraise check.
44 over 5.
Okay.
Critical fail.
It looks like a crappy, ugly hat. You find a pack of cigarettes. You find a flask, empty. You find a Bible and a cross necklace.
He's going to thumb through the Bible.
It's well turned to. Once you get to a certain page, however, you find that the Bible has been hollowed out. And inside the Bible is $50 cash.
Well, Mr. Will Scott found his savings.
Oh, wow.
He'll close the Bible and hand it over to Mr. Will Scott.
Thank you.
Well, it's not mine. Figure you sit on it for a little bit, and if nobody comes to claim,
Oh, well,
I guess you took better care of him in his last little bit than anyone.
I could use that. Yeah. Okay. I have to attend to some things at the bar. I'll be back.
Hey, was this the room that he was in?
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. He walks out. Hear him turn the corner, go down the stairs. Lastly, you find a journal. It's covered in dried blood.
Tate's gonna open it up and thumb through it, focusing probably mainly on the back, trying to find a point between normal and crazed writing.
Roll a sanity check for me real quick, like.
67 under 72.
Okay, you're fine.
That was close.
Flipping through the book, the blood is dry and it's crusty. Some of the pages you kind of have to break open a little bit. It's filled with all kinds of, you'll find 25 pages straight of just not good enough, exclamation mark, not good enough, exclamation mark, not good enough, exclamation mark. And not in gigantic large font either. He wrote this over and over and over and over and over again. The handwriting is really crappy. Almost hardish to read. But you can make out what it says. Another group of pages, for example. Some of it's a lot of random stuff, but a lot of repetition. Here and there, you'll see something that goes on a little bit longer about getting it right. I need to get it right. Can't keep doing this. Can't keep doing this way. Got to get out of here. Every so often you see a reference to a she, a her. But it doesn't make sense. It's not fully connected to anything else. You get toward the end, and it starts to get a little bit more coherent. It seems as close to a normal journal entry as you'll find in this journal. But it's still very rambly and incoherent for the most part. But it talks about wanting to be loved. You get the impression that the author didn't feel like he was getting the love that he needed, and it's a little bit vague. In some paragraphs, it seems like he's talking about something he's worked on, doesn't get the love that he thinks it deserves. In other instances, he's talking about himself not getting the love that he deserves. In other instances, there's questions about why a her isn't feeling the same way. Toward the end, it seems like this person is exhausted and desperate. And the very last page simply says, do you remember what it says?
Thus with a kiss I die.
Thus with a kiss I die. You dig through a little bit more of the box, and you also find a little graduation ribbon.
What does it say on it?
You find it's a graduation ribbon that just says University of Minnesota, 1903.
Well, if that ain't some shit. Tate's gonna poke around the room a bit. Underneath the bed, loose floorboards, or a loose vent in the wall. To some extent like that. Search through cupboards and all that. See if you can't find anything left unturned.
Roll me some dice.
44.
What's your search skill?
Spot hidden's a 60. That is a critical success.
You look high and low underneath this and throughout that. Open up this cabinet. Open up this drawer. Check underneath the pillow. The tooth fairy did not give you money. And all that you find is just here and there's maybe a droplet of blood or dust. Some things the cleaning person missed, but most people probably would. They don't have the same meticulous eye as you, Tate Clay.
Knowing there's nothing left behind in this room, Tate will make his way out and find Mr. Wilscott around.
He's at the bar. He's sitting there holding the glass in one hand, rag in the other, wiping down the glass.
Quick retcon.
Yeah.
Tate would have stuffed the ribbon and the journal in his bag.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Wilscott.
Yeah.
Mind if I ask you a few quick follow-up questions?
Yeah, of course.
Is there patrons in the bar?
Not right now.
And
No.
Tate will grab a seat. Yeah, I might as well take a beer while we're at this, too.
It is still the same day, so this would be your third beer of the day.
It's also been a while. He's been to 2 different houses already.
It's been like 2 hours, yeah.
Okay.
All right. He grabs a stein, fills it up, gives it to you.
And Tate will set a dime down. Or a nickel, whatever it is.
Thank you.
And pull out his notepad. You mind telling me a little bit about that day? How'd you find Mr. Richard?
Well, I came down to the inn. I didn't see him. The door was still locked.
And you don't stay here, right?
I know my family has a house just down the way. He stayed here, and he helped me run the place when I was. So he'd open up. So I came inside and I went to behind the bar, and it was locked, and I thought that was odd, so I went up to his room and knocked, and it was locked, so I took out my keys and I knocked. I didn't hear anything, but it was locked, so I assumed he... Well,
You assumed he what, sir?
well, I don't know. First thing I thought maybe he hadn't worked there terribly long, about 7 months or so, but he'd never done anything like that. So I thought, well, I asked around a little bit. Nobody'd seen him. So then I thought, well, he must be in his room. And I knocked and I knocked and I waited. Toward the end of the day, I went in and I just thought I should check on him. And he looks down and starts rubbing his forehead with his fingers, with his hand and his temple, and he's just got his eyes closed. It was pretty bad. He was bent over. He'd been writing on the nightstand, and there was just blood. I'm sorry. It was bad. So we, the sheriff, he's been in town since, and yeah, that's yeah.
That's a lot to unpack, Mr. Wilscott.
Yeah.
What?
Hey,
What'd you see as a cause of death?
well, he'd taken his pen in his left hand, and he's with his hand, he's kind of showing you. He stuck it just right there, and he's, miming a hand going up into the throat, or like a closed fist, as if he were holding a pen going into his throat. You notice he's using his left hand.
Left-handed, huh?
That's the one he used that night.
Was he always left-handed?
No, I don't know.
So you normally roll. That's right?
Yeah, that's right. It's not. I mean, most people. I don't know if I've ever met a left-handed person in my life.
Well, we call him wrong-handed where I'm from.
Yeah, well, it's considered a disability around where I came from.
You ever try to do anything with your left hand, Mr. Wilscott?
Me?
Just try it. Try to clean that glass with a different hand.
He kind of squints his eyes and cocks his head to the side a little bit, and he does that. He switches the rag to his other hand, and he starts doing it, and it's, there was a rhythm and a grace, a practiced motion, and now it's not like that. It looks like he's never cleaned a glass in his life. And then he kind of puts his hands out like, what do you...
See how it's all weird and different?
Yeah.
There ain't no way an individual, a right-handed individual, gets the grace and precision and power to stab himself in the neck with his left hand.
What's your character's insight? Or education?
Education 70.
What's his intelligence?
85.
Roll an intelligence check. 86.
91 over 85. I will spend 6 luck points and go down to 29 to pass the roll.
Clay thinks to himself, this guy clearly was educated. He graduated from the University of Minnesota, which even back then was not a small college. Been around for like 60 years at that point. And the handwriting looked like in the journal, like a right-handed person using his left hand. It was very, very sloppy. Doesn't make sense that somebody who graduated from a college would have handwriting that bad. Not to say it doesn't happen, but it does line up in your head with a right-handed person using his left hand.
Mr. Wilscott, you haven't seen anyone in the area, have you? Same time? Same night. Maybe a patron stay a little later than you one night.
Here?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Not. I don't think so. Not that I can remember. Not to my recollection.
So you didn't close down this bar and kitchen here with individuals still inside that weren't necessarily your tavern folk. You're in individuals.
Oh, like his employees?
No, people staying in the rooms.
Oh. You're asking if there were other people staying in any of the other rooms?
No, I'm asking if he closed down while there were bar patrons still there.
Oh. No. No, it's been pretty slow the past, I don't know, year or so.
How about anybody else staying in the rooms the same night that this happened?
No, there wasn't. Not that night.
So you're telling me Mr. Richard was the only one here that night?
To my knowledge. My wife helps me cook and back. I know she wasn't here. She was in bed with me, so.
And what night exactly was this?
June 11th. It was the 11th.
Oh.
And then Stephanie passed away after that, and then that Geraldine person.
Well, I've heard those Geraldines call a lot of different things.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on them? My partner Birdie's heading out that way. Shit, he's probably there by now.
Well, I don't know. I don't like to speak ill of people. They're not folks I prefer to spend my time around.
Don't consider it speaking ill. Consider it telling your part of a lawman's investigative story.
Well, they're dirty, angry, mean people. One of them spat on my son not a couple weeks ago. Just for I don't know why.
And the one that spat still alive?
No. That was Evan, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I think so.
What's the chances I can just have a quick word with your son?
We're
staying here a few days, so.
Oh, well, I'm sure you'll see him in here at some point.
But as his father, I want to make sure that you'd be all right with it.
Well, what do you need to ask him?
I just want to figure out why he was having why Evan would have something out with them.
Oh, I don't know. They're
and to get some gossip from the kids around town, really.
Oh,
nothing bad.
Sure, yeah, That's I'll bring him by sometime. How about that?
I would appreciate that.
Yeah, or if he stops in earlier, he's a good kid.
Now that I think we got that out of the way, how about Steph Cochran?
Yeah.
Point me in the direction. I can take some notes about that.
Yeah. Well, so I live on the. My house is the one with the. It's got the pine in front of it, and she lives to the left, next to where Peggy actually lives. Is a neighbor too on the other side of her. So it's You'll know it. It's the one with the really big flowers in front of it.
And just before I head out that way, any advice you can give me about them or their family or?
Oh well, the Cochrans are very nice, very gentle people. It's maybe the word I would use. I would just show them grace and, yeah.
You know them very well?
Well, I know most of the people in town pretty well.
I'd imagine running to the bar and all.
Yeah, well enough.
They ever come in?
No, not so often. Stephanie and Peggy would once in a while. I'd see them come in, just grab a lunch or something and
Yeah, are they around the same age?
do their homework. Yeah. Most of the kids in town are about the same age.
Mind telling how old?
Oh, 17. How old was she?
Both of them, really.
Yeah, they might be 18, 19 now, I think. Maybe give or take. No, they were about the same age as mine. Yeah, 17, 18.
So she would run around a bunch with Peggy.
Yeah. Yeah, she would.
And Peggy and Lily were friends, right?
Yeah.
How long's Peggy been around this town?
Well, most of the kids, most of us got here about the same time once, the town started booming and we got good deals. And,
She ever hang out with Richard at all? This Peggy lady.
no, no, not Remy. Richard, no.
Did she ever come around the bar?
I mean, they would sometimes, just to get a couple sandwiches or something like that. But no, I mean, I did notice Stephanie and Townsend seem to get along. Fine. They would talk about books. There was a kid, Philip. He passed away maybe 3 months ago. But there was a young man, Stephanie and Townsend. They chat about books and whatnot.
Any clue what happened to Philip?
Yeah, he he hanged himself from the bridge over the St. Francis.
Oh, it's such a shame.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look around and I just wonder what the world's coming to, you know?
Yeah.
Do you know that Philip kid at all?
I knew his parents well, about a little bit better.
Anything weird? Weird journal?
No, a kid liked to write. He was friends with Andrew and Cameron. I got my boots from Philip's parents, the Bolnoskris. They have a shoe store. They do good work if you need, anything.
Tate looks down at his boots. I might. Is there a hat store in town?
Smithson has a couple, but no, we don't have a dedicated hat maker.
Well, suppose I'll see you for supper.
Yeah, we're having Rubens tonight.
Well, I can't wait. And
Yeah.
Tate will shake up and go to shake his hand.
Oh, he sets down the glass and the rag. And he reaches out and shakes yours.
Appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, well, if you can figure it out.
Well,
Listen, I have a young
do our
man too.
best. Yeah.
And if I'm worried about my boy, to be honest with you.
We're going to try to get to this before it happens again, but do us all a favor and keep an eye on him for the next few nights.
Yeah.
And Tate will head out the door back to the general store.
To get a hat?
Yeah.
So you go over next door to the Smithson's general store. Bring-ding-ding-ding. He's reading his newspaper. Oh, hey.
Now, a man's coming in here to procure about something entirely different now.
Oh.
Hats, my good sir.
Oh, yeah, we have a couple. Right over there. He
Look for a
points.
cowboy hat.
Well, you're not in good parts for that type of picking. And he gets up out of his chair and kind of hobbles over down the aisle. Oh, shoot, I thought we had more. Oh, I could have sworn we had more. Well, this is what we have, I guess. I'm sorry. I thought we had a couple more options. And you look and you see like a couple bowler caps and a fedora. Roll a luck check.
$71 over $29 for a failure. Well, it was worth a shot.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, anything else? You need anything?
Nope, just looking for a hat.
Just a hat. Okay. Well, if you need anything else.
I know where you're at.
Yep. What was your name?
Name's Tate. Tate Clay.
Tate. Nice to meet you, Tate.
Nice to meet you. I know we just talked and I introduced myself a few minutes ago, but...
Oh, okay. Well, you have a good day.
You too. Fucking weirdo.
He's old. And
We talked about his dead son. Old people remember that. He's a little out there, okay. So Tate will make his way towards Steph Cochran's.
And with that, we will end our episode. Hey, everybody. It's Zenner coming at you with a post-show, one-on-one. We're going to get a little intimate here. It's just you and me and the world, and we're talking. I'm in your ears, and you're in my heart. Hey, but thanks for listening to the show. I know this one's a little bit shorter than typical, and that's just on account of time constraints and vacations and international travel and whatnot. And I promise it's not as exciting as it sounds, but we'll probably talk about it all on a Patreon, old Parasol offline episode, which is coming soon. By the way, we have one recorded. We're gonna hopefully get another one recorded this weekend, and then we'll put that on Patreon at maybe the $5 tier or something. Either way, thank you for listening. I every time I want to make sure I say that every single time, because I really, I don't know. I don't want to sound corny, right? It's hard not to, but we put a lot of time and effort into this show. I certainly do. Sadesky does, Dubois does. I mean, and just the fact that something we are making, people are listening to and hopefully liking it. The folks I've talked to who have listened to it seem to really like it. And it's just, I don't know. It's surprising. It's shocking. It's, we're still pretty small, obviously, but still just the idea of folks listening and liking things that we make. I don't know. I'm going to stop because I'm rambling, but all that to say, thank you very much, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, genuine as it might be. Cornball stuff out of the way. Discord, link below. Sadesky and I are going to make an effort. I mean, I'm in there semi-regularly chatting with folks. Sadesky's got a lot going on. I do too. Dubois, he's not much of a techie type of guy. I mean, he is, but he's not a PC guy. He's a console player. He's a console gamer. He's playing Apex Legends and Brotato for 19 hours straight, drinking a Coors Light, which is cool. But I'm on PC playing Helldivers 2, drinking, I don't know, absinthe on ice. Hold the sugar cube. But anyway, Discord. Pop in there, say hi. Sadesky and I, like I said, are going to try to be in there, like, in the voice chat, just interacting with folks and hanging out. Last thing, I think, is going to be the merch. I bring it up. I talk about it. I say, guys, the shirts, the coffee cups, the stickers, the sweaters, I think that's everything. We might have something else on there. The long sleeves. I mean, the long sleeves are what I wear when I go to the punk goth coffee shop where I do all my deranged writing and editing and music. Whoa. And honestly, actually, it's really nice, like going out to the coffee shop and, like I interact with a lot of people. They're like, whoa, is that Ableton? Dude, I love Ableton. And then we start talking about creative stuff. But anyway, point is, link down below. Check them out. And if there's anything, you guys have critiques or feedback or things you want to see on there, let us know. We are people of the people, and we are people of the people. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, again, thank you for listening, and we'll chat next week. Bye.